Hello, friends, and welcome back. Today, I want to share my experience with YouTube so far with a couple hundred subscribers. Let's chat about what I've learned along the way so you can decide if starting your own YouTube channel is right for you. So, first, let's talk about my experience on YouTube. Then, we'll dive into what I think could be good takeaways for you. And lastly, I'll share 5 tips that I've learned along the way. When I started my YouTube channel over a year ago, I was looking for a creative outlet. I've talked about self complexity in a different video, but this is really what it was about for me. Before starting my channel, I already had a somewhat established professional self, and I had a family self as a mother, wife, sister, daughter. But there was a personal facet of me that was really interested in exploring how to work well with myself and how to nurture it to grow into what it could be. I watched a lot of YouTube content myself, and I was drawn to a group of creators that spoke about things that were of interest to me. Over time, I developed a virtual connection to these YouTubers. I followed them through life changes, failures, successes, and all kinds of challenges. I loved the realness of some of what they shared, and I started to feel a sense of community around my specific interests. So I decided to give YouTube a try. Did I know what I was doing? Absolutely not. And were my first few videos terrible? Definitely. But while the production quality was really rough, I still think that the ideas I was trying to share were really good. I wanted to share all the things I was learning and what I found fascinating. I knew that on the internet, my chances of finding like minded people were exponentially greater than in real life. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't have friends in real life. I do. And with my group of friends, we do have a lot of common interests, but I don't think that there's a complete overlap in the things we enjoy. I mean, who wants to be the annoying friend talking about the same things over and over again when your other friends don't enjoy those things as much as you do? But on YouTube, you can explore every single facet of the topics you enjoy and share that with self selected people who feel the same way about those topics. So when I joined YouTube, my goal was never to compete with mega YouTubers like Mr. Beast. In fact, I didn't know who Mr. Beast was because I don't think I'm his target audience. I learned about him by watching videos about how to get started on YouTube. My goal for YouTube was to carve out my own little corner of the internet where I could feel free to explore the topics that were on my mind and find like minded people who care about the same things I did. And I have to say that so far, the journey has been pretty good. And I'll share 5 ways that YouTube has served me for the better, even without monetization. Number one, it got me used to speaking in front of a camera. I'm still working on this, but I think I've gotten so much better since I started. And being comfortable in front of a camera is a transferable skill that can help you in many ways across different industries. Number two is closely related. YouTube got me comfortable with hearing myself and watching myself on video. One thing I can tell you is that watching yourself on camera for the first time will humble you really fast. But this is a great way to learn some things about yourself and how you communicate and work on them if necessary. But mostly, over time, you get used to your voice and to your face, and you start to learn to appreciate them. And that is a great way to practice self acceptance. Number three, it forces me to organize and synthesize the information I consume and the ideas I come up with. By having to present these ideas in a video format, I really have to sort out my thoughts and put them into a coherent message I can share with other people. Number four, YouTube contributes to my greater sense of self. This part of my life has nothing to do with my job or with my roles as a mother or wife. This is purely for me. It's all about following my own curiosity. And so far, I have found 200 people who are interested in having these conversations with me. Now that's a win. Number five is closely related. YouTube is helping me build a community. Think about it. I don't have the flashiest or the most aesthetic channel. So people are choosing to subscribe because I said something that resonated with them. That's pretty amazing. And I absolutely love it when people leave their thoughts and comments after watching a video. Now, this doesn't happen as often as I'd like it to, but it's starting to pick up and it's kind of amazing to watch. To me, all of this is validating that I'm slowly finding my people, the people who connect with me and relate to the things that I care about. So the big question is, should you start a YouTube channel? The short answer is, if you have something to say, I think you should start a YouTube channel. If you are watching this video, then you have self-selected and I think this applies to you. We've all seen people who like to post motivational quotes and cryptic messages on their social media because they feel that they have a message to share. And these messages are meant to reach others who can relate. If you're one of these people and you feel the pull to share your epiphanies, your deep thoughts, and your relatable experiences with your small circle of friends on social media, why not put those thoughts in a video and share them with a much wider audience who may be searching for just that information? The thing about your Instagram and maybe Facebook friends is that they're following you for personal updates on your life. They want to see pictures of your puppies, of your kids, of your latest vacation, of the meals you've shared. But they may not be the right audience for your more philosophical pondering, your storytelling, or you simply going down the rabbit hole of your personal interests. Maybe they are, but maybe they're not. The beauty of YouTube is that people on there are looking for specific types of content. After all, YouTube is a search engine, and you're more likely to find your tribe here. And even if your personal family and friends share the same interests as you, they can come to your YouTube channel as well. So you're not depriving anyone of your deep thoughts. YouTube is a great place to showcase your storytelling skills and your ability to break down complex topics and convey ideas in a way that makes them easily understandable and relatable to others. So if you have something you're passionate about and you can't stop thinking about or talking about, start a YouTube channel so you can share it with a larger group of people. Now let's move on to the 5 tips for starting your YouTube channel. Number 1, stick to a topic you enjoy. There's a lot of advice about picking a niche versus not picking a niche. Whether you decide to pick one single very specific topic or a handful of complementary and interrelated topics, my advice to you is to stick with what you enjoy. If you want to build an audience and stay consistent, you will have to talk about the same topic over and over again, exploring different angles and offering new takes. So if you're only talking about something because it's really popular but you don't care, it's going to get harder and harder to show up every week. Also, people choose to subscribe because they heard you talking about something that they thought was of interest. If you switch up the topic on them, they may not stick around. I know that I've subscribed to channels that were talking about personal development and general life management, and once they switched to lifestyle vlogging or financial advice or fashion advice, I usually unsubscribe because that is not what I'm looking for. This doesn't mean that your channel cannot grow and evolve, but in the very beginning, you should really pick a topic that you are prepared to talk about for a long time. Number 2, pick between shorts and long form content. I realize that there's pressure to do everything and be everywhere, but that may be counterproductive. If your heart is into long form content because you like to really dissect the topic and present different arguments and go into all the details, then doing shorts is probably not going to help you. In my experience, the people who subscribe to your channel because of a short are the kind of people who want to watch shorts. And they won't necessarily convert into people who want to watch your long form content. So try to attract people while doing the kind of content you intend to do for the long haul. That way, when they subscribe, you know this is a perfect match between their interests and yours. There's a lot of advice out there about how to trick the YouTube algorithm, and you will be tempted to do all of it. And yes, understanding some of those technical aspects is really important so that you can get visibility for your channel. But if your entire focus is on tricking the algorithm rather than attracting an audience, I think it'll be really hard to build a YouTube community you genuinely feel connected to. And not having that genuine connection will make it hard to sustain your efforts. Number 3, watch other YouTubers. A great way to stay connected to the YouTube experience from a viewer's perspective is to be a viewer yourself. So continue to consume content from YouTubers that inspired you in the first place. Watching established channels while you're trying to build your own will reveal things that you never paid attention to before. Now you'll start noticing how the videos are structured, how they're edited. You'll notice details about the thumbnails. You'll start picking up on tips and tricks that attracted you as a viewer in the first place. And I find that this is a much more pleasurable and a more organic way to learn how to grow your own channel. This feels a lot less daunting than watching some of those how-to videos that get really technical and leave you feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. Number 4, make your thumbnails interesting. Speaking of things we do to please the algorithm, you have to come up with thumbnails that are attractive to your particular audience. And what I've learned so far is that there is no perfect template out there. Depending on the topic or industry you choose, there are different templates that seem to work. There has to be a little bit of trial and error until you figure out what works for you. This is something I'm still working on as well. If your thumbnails aren't catchy enough, then the viewers are more likely to gloss over your videos and pick something else that stands out more. And this doesn't even mean that your content is bad. It's just that there are so many videos out there that you need to try to stand out just enough that viewers are willing to take a chance on your video. So even if your content is amazing and you've spent a lot of time on your video, you still need a thumbnail that is attractive. Number 5 is to prepare your videos in advance. If you pick a topic that you genuinely enjoy or something you know a lot about, it can be really tempting to think that you can freestyle your way through a video. And maybe there are people out there who can do it really easily, but I don't recommend it if you're just starting out. What I have found is that if I don't outline at least the key points I want to cover, then I end up rambling on and on and on without ever getting to the point. And one piece of feedback I received that I took to heart is that the pace of my videos was really slow. And that's because in the very beginning, I thought it would be best to keep my videos conversational. But that meant that I would pause in the middle of videos to gather my thoughts and think about how to say the next thing. I also didn't know to go back and edit out the silences. So the key takeaway here is that the pace of a YouTube video is a lot faster than an in-person conversation. It is really helpful to have your talking points ahead of time. You can even script out the entire video. So there you have it. These are 5 tips to help you get started on your YouTube journey. These are lessons that I have learned along the way, and some of them are things I'm still trying to work on. When it comes to starting a YouTube channel, the big attraction is monetization, but that takes a lot of time and consistency to get there. So you have to think about the long-term sustainability of your channel, otherwise this becomes just another job. And this is a job that doesn't pay for a long time. I also believe that outside of monetization, YouTube offers a lot of benefits. There is a sense of fulfillment that comes from owning your message and talking about the things you care about. I love the freedom of going down the path of my own interests and finding people who can relate. So thank you for watching this. I am so glad you found me. Now take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.